In Delhi, entrepreneur Akash Oberoi, Amit Saad, is under fire from his investors for his pro-takedown MMA enterprise, which is failing in India. Frustrated, Akash consults with his father, Mr. Oberoi, Parikshit Sahni, who informs him that his MMA enterprise needed a desi rural Indian wrestler capable of pounding international competitors to dust. He directs him to Sultan in Haryana's Rewari, whom he has seen wrestle and won multiple titles. Akash travels to Rewari, where he meets Sultan, Salman Khan, an overweight, depressed-looking man who impresses Akash by lifting a tractor but flatly declines Akash's offer and tells him he's done fighting. Akash encounters Sultan's best buddy, Govind, who informs him that the cause is Sultan's love story, with Arfa. Anushka Sharma. The film then cuts to a flashback. 8 years ago, while kite-running through Rewari, Sultan, who owns a tiny dish TV company, collides with Arfa and hits her, mistaking a man wearing her scooter helmet and driving. Arfa, a wrestler training at her father Barkat's Janbaz Akhara gym, beats up Sultan, who falls in love with her right away. Sultan's grandma pushes him to tell Arfa, but his father is against it. However, Sultan, who follows Arfa into a wedding and sings to her, declares his love to Arfa, who tells him in English that he'd be dubbed a CIT guy. Sultan takes this as a praise until Govind informs him that it means shit guy. Sultan then joins Barkat's Akhara, needing to first donate blood before Arfa, who discovers he is a rare O-negative and trains to be a wrestler. Arfa becomes friendlier to him, and they begin walking up and down the hamlet together. One day, Sultan takes Arfa to meet Govind and his other friends, who address her as Bobby, sister-in-law. Arfa is outraged with Sultan and tells him he has no right to think and speak like way since she, who is trying to be an Olympic athlete, will never accept a village bumpkin with no goals. Sultan is devastated, but heeding his father's advice, he begins training with zeal, and wins a state-level championship, including in a weight category double his own. Both Arfa and Barkat are taken with Sultan, and Arfa agrees to marry him. They have a happy marriage and train together, winning competitions at the Commonwealth Games in Delhi, the Asian Games, traveling to Hungary for an international championship, and generally having a good time. Arfa then realizes she is pregnant. Her father is irritated that she will miss out on wrestling, but Arfa rejoices at Sultan's happiness. Sultan continues to wrestle and win significant international tournaments, including gold at the London Olympics. By then, he become incredibly arrogant, always praising himself, frequently disrespecting Arfa and his elders, and even slapping a reporter. He informs Arfa that he only wants a baby boy and that he will not withdraw from a world championship in Turkey, even if it means traveling during Arfa's pregnancy. While Sultan competes and triumphs in Turkey, Arfa gives birth to her child. When Sultan returns, he finds Arfa distraught, telling him that the infant Aman, who has the same rare O-negative blood group as Sultan, needed blood that wasn't locally available in the hamlet, and that the child couldn't be saved because his own father wasn't present. Arfa abandons Sultan, who is completely broken, and stops wrestling in order to raise funds for a local blood bank to be erected in their child's honor. Govind informs Akash of everything, and Akash appeals to Sultan's desire for the blood bank, which is not being supported by the local lawmaker. Akash assures Sultan that if he wins an MMA fight, he will be able to start building the blood bank right now. Sultan decides to fight and tells Arfa that he loves her and that she should pray for him and for them. He goes for Delhi after collecting earth from the Akhara. The fact that Sultan is overweight and middle-aged makes investors nervous in Delhi. Akash persuades them to try Sultan and finds him a local sponsor, Kukreja Pressure Cookers. Akash introduces Sultan to Fateh Singh, Randeep Hooda, an MMA trainer in Old Delhi who formerly ruined his own career with doping and narcotics but now trains champion MMA fighters. Fateh Singh mocks Sultan's weight and unhappiness while refusing to train him. When Sultan, spurred up by his comments, defeats his current star, he finally agrees. Sultan starts a rigorous training session with Fateh Singh. There is a lengthy training montage. The MMA tournament begins, and Sultan impresses the media with his humility and soft wit during a news conference. His opponents are ferocious, and Sultan becomes the popular underdog. As he beats several tough MMA experts, his entire town celebrates and his fan base grows, but Arfa remains silent. Sultan, who feels lonely, spends his free time watching his wedding video. When he goes out with Akash to celebrate the latter's birthday, he sings a song about Arfa that becomes popular on the internet, labeling Sultan Romeo Wrestler in the process. By day, Sultan continues to win contests, but by a narrow margin. When he is seriously injured in the ring one day, he imagines Arfa cheering him, and he stands up to fight back and wins. However, his injuries are severe, and he has been recommended to withdraw from the contest finals. Govind, who is assisting Sultan, quickly calls Arfa to Delhi, and she arrives. Sultan and Arfa finally talk about it and forgive each other. She encourages him that he must fight and not give up. Sultan takes against MMA king Marcus, who brutally beats him in the ring. But as Sultan falls, he recalls their child's empty cot and his decision to give up his Olympic gold right then and there. Meanwhile, Arfa is praying in the locker room as the Akhara soil begins to fall from its sack. Sultan stands up and fights Marcus, and he wins. When Arfa enters the arena, Sultan abandons his trophy to embrace her. They return to training together after opening an Amman blood bank in their hamlet. Arfa wins a coveted title and realizes she is pregnant for the second time. Sultan requests a girl this time, and the happy pair is soon training, along with their gorgeous little daughter.